I just turned 30 and I want to share the 30 lessons I wish someone had drilled into my head a decade ago. If you're in your 20s, this might just save you years of frustration, stress, and regret. So the first lesson is time is the real currency. You think you're busy now, but trust me, this is the freest you'll ever be. Protect your time like your life depends on it, because it literally does. You're 20, you have so much time to try new things. Number 2. Health is the foundation. You have 1,000 problems until you have a health problem. Then you only have one. So train, move, sleep, and eat well now so you're not paying for it later. One of the best things I ever did in my late 20s was get a personal trainer. I lost weight, got fitter, everything became better. You don't get as sick as often. Literally, it benefits the business and your life so much, as well as your relationship. Number 3. Your energy matters more than your time. It's not about how many hours you have, it's about how many hours you're alive for. Learn what drains you and ruthlessly cut it out. Ilhan Mosey's got that great saying, which is, fuck your mood, follow the plan. Number 4. Stop trying to impress people. This is a massive one for me. No one's keeping score. The people who matter don't care, and the people who care don't matter. Hate never comes down. Someone who's ahead of you will never put hate on you. They'll never laugh at you for making content. They'll never laugh at you for trying a new funnel in your business or trying to start a new hobby. Hate only goes up. People who are jealous of you or feel like you're escaping the box that they would love to escape from. Remember that. Number 5. Most of your anxiety is borrowed from the future. It hasn't happened yet, and most of it never will. So you need to learn to live where your feet are. It's exactly the same way we think about drinking alcohol. If you drink alcohol today, you're just borrowing time and energy from tomorrow. Because tomorrow you know you're gonna do less, you're gonna be less happy, more tired because you're hungover. It's exactly the same principle. Number 6, move every single day. This is not about six packs. This is about building a body that will carry you for decades. I wish that I had told myself this, or I could watch this video 10 years ago when I just turned 20. That's when sports and fitness was something that was obvious. It was easy. I could do it as much as I like. But now, as you start to get a little bit more achy, a bit more creaky, you're busy, it doesn't become so much of a priority. I wish that I could go back and just make sure that I was more active every single day, less sedentary, maybe a better way to put it. Number 7, the best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Books, courses, mentors, they compound like crazy. This took me a long time to realize. I like reading books. I don't read as much now as I'd like to, but I really like them. Courses are brilliant. They've made massive steps in my life and in business, but mentors, paying someone to shortcut problem and obstacle by buying their knowledge has had massive returns for me. And I wish that I'd be able to say that to myself even 2 or 3 years ago. Just literally cut every single corner by getting someone that has already solved the problem to tell you how they did it. Number 8 is build skills, not resumes. No one cares about your titles. They care about what you can actually do. This is something that's massive for me. I'm so obsessed with licenses, qualifications, anything I could put on my resume when I was in my early and mid 20s. And then you start a business or you decide to take something on your own, take a challenge on yourself. It doesn't matter anymore. It's about what you can do right now. Number 9, your 20s are for experimenting, not arriving. So you need to try things, fail fast. You're not behind, you're exploring. In fact, the ones that do what I did in my early 20s, which was get a job, get a mortgage, get a house, get a dog, I think they're the ones that are behind. And so that's something that I would massively change if I went back and could watch this video again. 10 is money is freedom, not status. Stop spending it to look rich. Use it to buy back your time and your choices. Number 11, be careful who you listen to. If you wouldn't trade lives with them, or they don't have what you want to build, don't take advice from them. Everyone wants to give advice. You've got to be so careful who you take advice from. I'm always around 7, 8, even 9-figure founders, people with millions of followers on the podcast. I only take advice from the ones who genuinely have a life that I would trade with. They have to be happy. They have to fill out a framework of what I'm looking for in my life. It's not about money. It's not about certain things that other people might see as value. Number 12, discomfort is a signal you're growing, because most people run from it and the winners walk straight towards it. This is massive. One of my best bits of advice ever was from a mentor called Daniel Priestley, and he said, get comfortable being uncomfortable and be the smallest in the room. And what he means by that is to make sure that you're always in a place where you can learn. You don't want to be the best in the room. What that means is you're going to learn the least. It's important to be uncomfortable because that aids you in your journey. Number 13 is that rejection is just redirection. The no you're crying out about today might be the reason you win in 5 years. There's a lot of fate behind this. So if people are saying no to you now, it just means you're going to iterate, you're going to get better. If people say yes to you straight away, you're not going to learn. You're not going to iterate. You're going to sit on your laurels and not develop as quickly as you could have. Number 14, learn to say no. Every yes is a no to something else, often something more important. It's really hard to say no, especially without giving an excuse, but it's important to learn. 15, the people around you shape your future. Choose friends who challenge you, not ones who numb you. 16, comparison literally is the thief of joy. Everyone's timeline is different. Focus on your lane and move forward. This is one of the most important ones for me. Never compare to other people. They've got completely different journeys to you. Number 17, your habits become your life. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. So build good ones now. They do say that only the disciplined are free. And I genuinely subscribe to that notion. If you can fill out your day with things that you know will push you forward every day, getting your steps in, moving, eating well, working on yourself, then everything else can go into the slots around that. It's very, very unlikely that you're not going to succeed in whatever it is you're looking to succeed in. Number 18 is rest is part of the work. Burnout is no longer a badge of honor. It's a massive warning sign. The number of people that I've spoken to around the world who have made a lot of money or had whatever success they might have had, who are now talking about, it is not worth it to burn out. Everyone is looking for money. You know, in your 20s and your 30s, you're still looking, you want to make money. But if that means you're going to put your health to one side and you're going to get to the money, that's okay, but it's never going to be as good as what you think it's going to be. These people are warning us that they've made the money, but actually losing their health, having to have, operations, procedures, losing their relationships wasn't worth it. So just pick your battles wisely and don't wear burnout as a badge of honor. 19, gratitude changes everything. The goalposts will always move, and gratitude is how you enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Quite often I will sit and reflect on what we've got, what I've built, what I'm doing, and be so grateful for all of it. Because it's so important to remember why you started in the first place, and actually how happy you would be with your life now if you went back 2, 3, 5 years ago and told that person, that version of you, what you are doing today and calling work or life. Number 20 is stop outsourcing happiness to someday. I'll be happy when is a lie. Find joy today. And this is much more difficult to do than it sounds. We all want to have a business or a life that we love every day to live, and we want to go through life doing what we love. Follow your passion is often something we hear. But in actual fact, that doesn't always pay the bills, doesn't always get us from A to B. But we must find joy in something. Harvard did a study on hobbies. If you spend 2 hours a week on a hobby, which is not related to fitness, work, or business, you can be up to 30% more productive in your life. And I think that actually also translates into happiness. So something like going for a walk, but you can't listen to a podcast because that's learning. Photography would count. Golf effectively would count. It's something you can do and be completely focused on. Going for a jog or going to the gym is not a hobby. That's something we should be doing anyway. 21 is learn to sit with silence, because the answers you're chasing often show up when the noises stop. That for me is massive as well. No one really sits in silence. They always need their phone or need something. If you learn to sit in silence, one day I will learn the art of meditation. Anyone who meditates around me, I'm always so interested, because I think that's something that will really help with lesson 21. 22, relationships are built, not found, because friendships and love require time, effort, and showing up. You'll learn this very quickly over the next few years. If you do not put effort into your relationships, to your friends, your family, they'll just stop showing up. You'll stop having that communication, because it's such a two-way street. So never put your goals above the relationships that you truly cherish. 23, detach your identity from your job, because you're not your career. You're your person, you're your own person, and you're living your own life. The worst question someone can ask, I believe, when they first meet you is, what do you do? Because what they're trying to do then is validate where they sit against you. They're trying to see if they have a better life than you, they're more successful, more clever, they have more money. They're trying to validate you. I hate when that question is asked to me, because I think it's just such a modern way of trying to validate someone's ego. So never let your career or what you do define who you are as a person. You are your own person. It doesn't matter what you do as a job or a business. 24, take responsibility for everything, even what's not your fault, because responsibility equals power. There's nothing worse than someone who is super defensive or will never take responsibility for something they've done, whether they're right or wrong. There's so much power in accepting, understanding, obviously standing up for yourself if you have done nothing wrong, but the point is to be responsible and take the power on the chin. You can learn, you can get the lesson here. Take it and learn from it. Use it as power. Number 25, your future is built 1 year at a time. One focused year can change everything. Seriously, this is massive. broadening the time horizon. I've turned 30 now, and I genuinely believe that I can't even look to I'm 35, but that 5 years, I can't wait to see what we have achieved, because that's so much time. I'm still looking in 3, 6, 12 months to get projects done and move the needle here and there. If you zoom out and look at your time horizon across a broader spectrum, the stuff that you can achieve is amazing. So look at it over years. Don't look at it over days, weeks, or months. Number 26 is dream stupidly big, because most people limit themselves before the world ever does. So don't be one of those people. Don't think that you have to stay in one place, that you have to work on one thing, that you have to have a similar group of friends, you have to bank at the same bank. You can do whatever you want. Don't let the world limit you. 27 is fail publicly, because embarrassment fades, but regret never does. 28, play the long game, because most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10. That's a very similar point to I made in 26, to be honest, but I think it's one of those ones that is worth reiterating. I wish someone would have told me that 5, 10 years ago. Because in your 20s, that's a massive thing. And in your 30s, I think it's even more important. 29, keep learning always. Always be the learning person, the person that's learning, the person that's taking information on. Never position yourself as someone who is an expert or the ego that has, I can do anything, I've got the ego. Be the lifelong learner. The moment you think you figured it out is the moment you start falling behind. The person who believes they've done everything, they're better than most people they meet, they're the ones that lose relationships, lose friends, and eventually might lose everything. Because genuinely, happiness, I believe, is in quality of relationships. Number 30, the life you want isn't in the crowd, it's in the uncomfortable choices most people aren't willing to make. Do those, and you'll live a life most people never will. And if you're in your 20s, your late 20s, your early 30s, please don't waste it trying to tick boxes or please people. That's exactly what I did in my 20s. Use this decade to build you, your body, your skills, and your character, and your relationships. Because if you do, your 30s, they'll feel like an absolute superpower. And I'm so excited for my 30s based on what I've learned in the last few years of my 20s.